Hello, everyone, and welcome to D&D Duo, where two best friends, both DMs, talk about Dungeons and Dragons and running tabletop role-playing games, and maybe we even play a little bit. How's it going, Kirk?
I'm going well, Kendall. How are you?
Oh, I forgot to say my name. My name's Kendall.
Yes, he's Kendall. I'm Kirk.
Yes, we're two good friends,
We're two good friends.
and we.
Well, apparently we're not using the word best friends now. We're just good friends, but that's okay.
well,
That's okay.
that's in the intro. But,
Okay.
yeah, how's it going? We're making a podcast.
Good. We are. So this is our first. We're excited to give it a go, and hopefully, you folks out there will enjoy it as well.
Yeah, well, we like to banter.
Yeah.
We're
We
good.
like to listen to ourselves talk.
Yeah.
So
I assume other people would also enjoy liking
Yeah.
to listen to us talk as
my
well.
ego is large enough that I think other people would find me interesting.
Yeah.
So
And we both are really into Dungeons and Dragons because we're
We-
both
yeah.
DMs, and I think we're both very different DMs,
yes.
and we
Yes.
come at it at very different ways. So I think us together makes like the perfect DM because
Yes.
I'm more into improving and kind of the social aspect of it, and I play with a lot of actors, and I myself am an actor, and you like to do more like battle maps and
Yes, I prefer the. Well, I enjoy battles. I enjoy social encounters, but I like the structures
of the combat.
of the combat and even of the game. And I'm not necessarily a rules lawyer, but I enjoy those structures of games. I think a little more.
Right. Yeah. So first off, how this is structured is we're first going to start off with a topic for every video, and then we'll go into reflections about how our own personal games are going and how we've been DMing them recently, and then we'll go into a bit of tabletop role playing.
There we go.
I'm gonna, just a one person DM session where I'll do a little game for you, and we'll run a 5th edition first, and we have a character prepared and all that stuff. But I think we'll just get into the topic.
Yeah,
So the first topic, why do we DM? Why do we do this? Why do we spend so much time and effort and work making this world, which like 3 people see in a tiny room with a bunch of nerds?
That's a great question, Kendall.
Yeah.
And we'll be discussing that. Would you like to go first, or do you want me to?
Well, I think to answer this, we have to go back to like how we first discovered
Fire.
Dungeons
Oh,
and Dragons.
yes,
Like
yes.
how we first discovered this game that's kind of niche. And like at least when I first discovered it when 5th edition first came out, which is the 5th edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and it was in college, and the first time I was exposed
Now,
to it.
I think I'm gonna hold you there, Kendall, because I think you discovered it earlier.
Well, because we played 4th edition, didn't we?
We played not 4th edition. I did a little bit, but for me and you, the first time we played it actually wasn't D&D. It was Iron Kingdoms in high school.
Did we play Iron Kingdoms first?
We did.
I swore we played D&D in high school.
Nope. It wasn't a very long game, and I think it was only 1 or 2 sessions. But our first game was in high school, playing the role-playing game Iron Kingdoms with a friend of ours at the time named Tan, as well as another member who...
Was that the first time we played
That was
D&D?
the first acting. That was the first time. And another friend of ours who I no longer remember the name of, but he was in our actors.
Yeah.
Acting with us, I think.
Okay, so high school, you introduced it to me.
Yes.
So my experience is from you. So how was? How
So yeah,
did you get
maybe I'll go
involved?
first. Yes.
Yeah.
So my experience with role playing does go back a while, but it wasn't consistent. I think my earliest memory is of D&D 4th edition, and what I did was I bought the books
For 4th edition.
for 4th edition.
How did you learn of D&D?
Basically,
it's not like
I
advertised.
saw the books at Barnes and Nobles,
Oh, really?
and the covers look cool.
Yeah.
And what actually got me into it is I'd go to Barnes and Nobles for strategy guides to video games.
Oh, I did that. As
And
well.
yes, and because everything nerdy is, must be contained and walled off in its own little section, as
Right.
it should be.
Yes.
We are gross humans. At that same section were role-playing games.
Oh.
And as a young man of adolescence, 13, maybe 12, I saw the role-playing game section, and most importantly, 4th edition, D&D. I was interested in the art, in the kind of the art at first, but I think naturally I would look at the books because I had spent quite a bit of time there, and for fourth edition was an easy gateway for me because fourth edition is very similar to a video game in some ways.
Right.
I know we can get into whole like the idea of some people really didn't like that, but for a kid who liked video games, fourth edition was basically a video game as a role playing game.
Yeah.
Because everything used powers. They were dailies.
Yeah, it's pretty different from fifth edition.
It's pretty different. Fourth edition is actually a very good tactical war game. Maybe not the best role-playing game.
Right.
But that's what got me into it. And then from there...
Well, did you want to DM the first time you had
No, I wanted to look at the books and see how cool they were.
It's pretty cool, right?
My actually playing a fourth edition is quite small. I think my first game was prior to high school in my middle school. I think I did one game of fourth edition.
Really?
And that's it.
Wow.
I bought the Player's Handbook. I bought, I think, Player's Handbook 1 and 2, the DM guide, and one campaign setting, which was Dark Sun.
Oh,
Campaign
Dark
setting.
Sun, really?
And that's how my love affair with Dark Sun began. And that was pretty much... That was the beginning. And then there was a massive break when I just didn't play any. Up until high school. And I went through a mini phase. Now, not a phase that was small, but a phase interested in minis, miniatures.
And I think you're still going through that phase, right?
It's been off and on.
Yeah, okay.
And in that mini phase, I explored the world of miniatures, which mostly involved War Machine, Hordes, and Warhammer 40k.
Oh.
Now, War Machine and Hordes is a steampunk game that's a Seattle local company called Privateer Press. And I would just love looking at the miniatures online. I couldn't afford it because it's a ridiculous hobby.
Super expensive for me.
If I were a rich man. But I got into looking at them, and then I think around 2011, I want to say that was the first book came out. Maybe a little bit before that. End of 2010, somewhere around there. Their first role-playing game came out. And that was, I think, sophomore or junior year of high school. And I picked it up.
No.
And for some reason, the spark began there. We played a small game, I think 2 sessions.
Right.
I forget what you were exactly, but I know the other...
Iron Kingdom.
Tan...
I was a detective.
You were detective,
detective.
Yes. You were an investigator.
Yes, I was that. That was pretty fun.
That's pretty fun.
Okay. Well, so for me, you introduced it to me. I had no idea what this thing was, and we were both in plays together in high school. And I really enjoyed the aspect of the communal group getting together and playing with and like creating this story together. And it was kind of like theater, but there was no audience and there was no, need for it to be perfect. It was our story. And that's what I really dug about it. It was like we are making a story together. Okay, so how I got into role-playing was through you. We played in high school. And I really enjoyed the communal aspect of it because it was kind of like a play. We're all in this like kind of fantasy world acting out because we were both in plays together in high school. And I thought it was super fun just to hang out with friends and just to tell our own story. And it didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to be funny. It didn't have to be anything because it was our story. It was the people in that room sharing this experience, and it didn't really have to be like anyone else's story. It didn't have to be, well, it could be whatever it wanted to be. It didn't have to be following this, story structure of like a book or like a play or like anything like that. It could be whatever it wanted to be, and that's what really attracted to me. And I am starting to be more of a writer now, and that's what really attracted me. I think, I DM'd as soon as 5th edition came out. I got the starter pack in college, and I don't know why I got it. I just remember playing with you. I'm like, I just want it, and it sounded cool because 5th edition was hyped up a lot. Because I didn't know anything about any of the other ones, but everyone's like, oh, the 5th edition is supposed to be the best one. It's supposed to be so cool. It's supposed to be super accessible. So I got it. I read the rules. I'm still reading the rules now, and it was complex, but I ran it with the friends in my house who were also theater people, and I really dug it. It just came super naturally because I do improv, I do storytelling, I do acting, I do writing as well, and so it all fit together in this nice little package, which I'd never really discovered before that moment, and I just wanted to keep doing it and keep doing it. And now that I'm outside of college and I have all this freedom to kind of pursue what I want to do, I'm finding that I want to do it more and more and more. So, and I want to talk about it more. So that's kind of why I wanted to create this podcast, because I love talking about it and you love talking about it. So
It's a fun thing to talk about.
yeah, let's just talk about it.
Let's just talk about it.
Okay, great.
In front of a mic.
All right, let's do it.
So yeah, I guess I should get into why I like to DM.
Yeah,
because it's a combination of things. I've always enjoyed creating worlds. I've enjoyed when other people have created worlds.
Yeah.
And I think a certain aspect of that is just the sheer joy of having the freedom to create this world and this setting at your fingertips.
A lot of freedom. Yeah.
A lot of freedom and a lot of creative ideas. It's understanding, and I enjoy creating this fantastic journey for people to go along. And I like that they can help me build that as well. I definitely enjoy like the creative aspect of that way. I enjoy helping people have fun in that way and kind of exploring my world and finding its little intricacies and little fun parts. And I enjoy the rule set. I enjoy the idea that we can give a facsimile of a reality, so to say, of whatever game you're playing, and that reality can come out and play. So for things like Pathfinder and Iron Kingdoms, that's social encounters and non-combat adventure, but also combat adventures. For other games that are less combat involved, like maybe like a Traveler or something like that. That's like space exploring.
Throwing fancy words around.
Yeah, well, it's more, every game is different, but every game tries to facilitate the idea of living in that certain reality. And I love building those realities and seeing people take joy in exploring them. Whether that be a reality that involves combat or not.
Yeah.
Either one. Yes.
Also, one more thing that I really enjoy is anyone can do this.
Yes.
You don't have to, be an actor. You don't have to be an improviser. You don't have to be anything. You just need your imagination and some pens and papers, and you can do it.
Yes.
It's
very
simple.
accessible.
Yeah.
And especially, that's one reason why 5th edition is so good, is because I think it has brought a lot of people into the games. And people who want to, people who are intimidated by some games, especially older role-playing games, which are dense in a lot of ways.
3.5.
I think 3.5.
Pathfinder.
Even older games like Traveler or GURPS or things
yeah.
like that. Things that are a bit more dense. I think D&D, 5th edition especially, is a great way for people to get in, do it fast, and in ways that are really, really simple and easy to understand.
Yeah.
And I think that's why D&D is, especially 5th edition, is very special.
Yeah, I've run 5th edition with a lot of people who've never played before. And it's been challenging some parts, but I'm finding better and better ways to do it. And it's all the tools are there for you to do it.
Yeah, I think the game is built to be incredibly fun to get into, but also it has enough depth that once you're there, you can enjoy it while you're there.
Yeah.
I think it's unique in that it creates... It can be both. It is deep enough to explore, but also friendly enough that you can jump in and not worry about metaphorically drowning. Not literally, but...
Yeah.
In the waters of imagination.
Right. Cool. So next up, let's just go into our reflections of some of our games that we've been going into. So I'm running a 5th edition game, and of Dungeons and Dragons and I finally got to do people on a ship and fighting pirates, and I love pirates.
If we were to do an anime podcast, he really likes One Piece, guys.
Well, I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love being on the sea. I love the freedom of being a pirate. and just like how anyone could be a pirate and all that kind of weird stuff. But like, yeah, so I ran a game where people finally got to fight pirates, and it was like a random thing. Like they had to get to this island, and they could have taken a lot of different ways. And there's a small little bit like, okay, there's a pirate ship up over here, and then they just went to that pirate ship, and they fought a pirate that was way higher level than them, and I was kind of afraid they were gonna get killed, but they managed to like pull it out, and it was pretty amazing. Like I had a really exciting experience with that encounter because one, it was pirates, so I got to play my pirate music, which I love. I love playing music when we're doing Dungeons and Dragons, and yeah, it was actually a really intense encounter, which you don't always have like super intense encounter. Like 2 out of the 3 party members dropped unconscious, and so it was pretty intense. And yeah, I kind of live for those moments where it's like the game could end right now. Like it was super tense, but they managed to convince one of the pirates to turn on the other pirates, and that's how they kind of got out of the situation. But that was one thing I love, is that was not planned. That whole pirate encounter was not planned, because they could have totally just paid 50 gold to get a little robot and rowed themselves to the island, but they said they picked a pirate ship. And so, all the stuff I had planned was like, okay, for next session. But that's something I love, that this can happen in a game. Yeah.
Yeah, so right now I am running one game, a Starfinder game, which is...
What's Starfinder? That's kind of
Starfinder is a new game from the company Pizzaio.
Right.
Or Pizzaio. We'll do that in editing.
Well, they did Pathfinder.
They did Pathfinder. Pathfinder is a adaptation of D&D, an older edition. They have a sci-fi version, which is called Starfinder. It changes some rules, and it changes some things, but basically at the core, it's Pathfinder in space. I recently started that. I recently ended another game, which was an Iron Kingdoms game, which is a steampunk RPG from the guys who make War Machine and Hordes, which is a miniature game.
Yeah, you're really into that game.
Yeah, I like the system, and that's a discussion for a later topic.
Yeah, well, we can talk about... We've played like a lot of different systems, I think, and I think further episodes we can actually go into like what is Pathfinder, what is Iron Kingdoms.
But yeah, so at the moment, we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, I really like Iron Kingdoms. So yeah, I just ended an Iron Kingdoms one. That was due to scheduling issues. We can get into that some other podcasts of how to get a group together and why it's hard.
It's impossible.
But so right now, and I'm hoping to do another Iron Kingdoms game soon. I'm trying to start with another one up. But until that happens, right now I have a Starfinder game. That's with a group of other people I play with often. It happens, every Sunday, and it's real great. Recently, what they did is they are stuck on a planet, kind of a Tatooine-like planet, a Mars-ish in a certain way. They have to get off the planet and find a ship, or their bodies will turn to deteriorate and turn to goo.
Right.
A robot implanted them with nanobots that will kill them if they don't do what the robot wants.
Right.
In order to get a ship, they have to go work for this shady lizard lady boss. What she want to do is she's missing some contraband she got from the Drow. She's kind of in cahoots with the Drow. So their job was to find out where this contraband went. And so they went on an adventure between like with dealing with the police, investigating that. They went out to the Drow hideout. Along the way, they met a farmer and his wife and their pet earth elemental. Befriended them.
I was there for that.
You were there for that. Kendall was in that one. They made some friends there. They got to the Drow hideout. You all decided to go in with a bit of aggression, maybe.
Well, if I remember correctly, I did shoot the window 2 times.
Yes, which was one of your first actions.
Yes, I shot
Another player decided to knock on the door.
Yes. I was knocking, but just through the window.
With bullets.
Yeah,
naturally, the occupants inside decided, maybe we'll take the threat a little seriously.
Yeah.
They did not meet with your parlay. And as such, a firefight ensued.
It's crazy. I don't
I
know
know
why.
These drow, why don't they trust you?
Yeah, come on.
There was a firefight inside. One of our characters tried to like surrender, backstabbed. You all eventually gotten the traitor drow, who you were after in the beginning.
Right.
Took him, took the drugs that he had, and then all of a sudden the compound was assaulted by the police force.
Dang police. Dang space police.
Space police. They're really corrupt.
Yeah.
You got in a speeder that was located inside the drow compound. Jumped in that, and I think you were not there for the next session. But you did a high-speed police chase.
Ooh, I missed the police chase?
You missed the police chase.
No.
A high-speed police chase across the deserts to the city proper. Once there, you made contact with another traitor on that lizard lady boss's side and tried to kind of do another double cross. Somebody called it a triple cross, if you were, so bold.
Quadruple cross.
The party met with said traitor.
Yes.
They got a little cold feet at the last second and wanted to back out. Naturally, the traitor didn't like that.
Yeah.
And realized, oh wait, I'll probably die if they leave and tell everyone. So another firefight ensued.
Oh.
After that, with the traitor and his police accomplices. After that, the party went inside the lizard lady's compound and have basically been assaulted the last few days by the police force.
Oh.
And now they have to figure out a way to get from the compound to the spaceport. So now they're kind of in a siege situation trying to get to the spaceport.
Fun.
And I like that because it shows how incredibly varied a role-playing game can be.
Yeah.
You can go from kind of this discussion and, kind of investigation with the police to a thing like a speeder chase to a combat with the drow to trying a parlay with the with another member who ends up turning into a combat, or you can make peace with someone and betray them. I like that in RPG games it can change, and there's such a varied amount of experience.
It's like unlimited.
Yes.
Potential.
Ooh, yes. Yes, it is. It is a wide array of events and situations you can find yourself in.
Oh. All right. Well, so we gave some great examples from what we've done about why we like it. So now we'll just play a little solo session. I'm just gonna DM.
One-on-one.
Yeah, and you're gonna be. Why don't you introduce your character?
Yes, my character. We did a small campaign session that ended, unfortunately too quickly.
Yeah.
But I made a character, a Kenku, which for those of you who do not know is a kind of a bird and anthropomorphized. Yeah. Anthropomorphic, bird, man, kind of raveny. I think kind of has a Japanese influence. I think a Kenku is a Japanese demon or something. And he is a psychic. It is
He's a mystic class.
A mystic class.
Yeah.
Mystics are a different class in D&D. They're free to find online, and that's kind of a long story with me and mystics and why I love those so much from before. We can get at it someday. But yeah, the thing about Water on Rocks is Kenku's...
your name is Water on Rocks.
My name is Water on Rocks.
Yeah.
It sounds like the sound of water running over rocks because Kenku can't speak with their own voices. They only can mimic sounds. So they can mimic someone else's voices, but they also can mimic the sound of coins falling, the sound of bones snapping, or the sound of water flowing over rocks. And so that's my name. That's how I do it.
Yeah, so it's awesome that you picked a character that can't talk for a session where you play by yourself. So I think that is a smart idea, and I think we're going to have lots of fun playing the session.
We're going to give it a try.
Yeah, we'll give it a little try.
Yeah.
I created a little scenario for you. You're level 3 now. Congratulations.
I know. I dinged.
You leveled up. You dinged it. And now, you were recently at the town of Rike Point, which is kind of this constantly rainy, droopy little fishing village.
Oh, yeah. Awful.
Yeah, very awful place. And you're trying to help out your friend the owner of this inn that you were trying to be nice to, and like trying to get rid of this like mob boss that was in the place, and that was all fine and dandy. But in the night, you were suddenly attacked and knocked out. Well, you woke up and then you were knocked out, and then you were dragged away by some mysterious figures.
Ooh.
And now you are away from the town of Reich Point, and you
finally.
are.
I should thank them.
Yes, you're welcome. On a rickety wagon, and you wake up, and the sun seems to be setting. You're on this big, wide path. In between, it seems to be a forest path because you see very tall, like birch trees, like around you. You see critters are running around, birds chirping. And this wide path through, and it's two-horse wagon is being drawn by this green-skinned orc that has his tusks shaved off, and he seems to be in like a kind of a servant's attire, and he's kind of trotting along with the horses, and 4 big cages are on the back of this wagon. One you are in.
Oh.
Another you see to the right of you, there is a cat humanoid who is like kind of pure white, but it's like a little bit dirty white. It's like not
Dishwater
like,
white.
Yeah, dishwater white. And she seems to have her hands tied behind her back, and she's kind of glaring around. And you notice that there are 3 horses around you, besides the 2 horses that are driving the wagon. To your right seems to be a very handsome man in dashing golden armor with a strong jaw and like a handlebar mustache, and he's enjoying listening to music, which you realize is emanating from another cage right in front of you. It seems to be a bird humanoid playing a lute, and he seems to have his hands free. You notice you don't seem to have your hands free. He seems, and you notice there's 4 cages and 1 is empty. So those are the 3 cages you have. You notice the human to your left, enjoying himself, enjoying the music, and you notice there's kind of looking through the bars, you see another humanoid who looks a bit more sickly, a more skinny, more pale. He has a dark robe on, and he's kind of not enjoying the music. He's trotting along. He seems to be very hunched over. Seems like he's about to pass out from being tired, it seems. And finally, you see who is at the caboose of this kind of pack that's walking down the trail. You see a big, fat, purple-skinned tiefling who's chowing down on this big drumstick. And he's eating, taking a big drop of it, and like grease is dripping down onto his like golden breastplate, which has the symbol of like a huge dragon on it. And he's eating, and as the bird humanoid finishes the strum of a song, and the humanoid claps and says, "Bravo, bravo! Oh, I could listen to your music all day." And the skinny humanoid says, "Oh my gosh, please let it stop. They're magic users, you know. They are wanted by the king. We are taking them to be executed. We are not taking them so they could be we can be entertained." And the Lord is just chewing his chicken. He seems to be Lord by how regal he's dressed. And he says, "Oh, let him do whatever he wants." And he's just chowing down on the chicken. Do you try to do anything while this is going on?
I'm interested in quite a few things.
Yeah.
Is the Birdman next to me? Is he also a Kenku?
No, you look closer. Actually, make a history check. He looks a bit different from you.
I shall make a history check. That's a good roll.
What'd you get there?
I got a 21.
21. Okay, so you seem to notice that this bird seems to have wings, actually.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Yeah, it seems you're very jealous because Kenkus do not have. They're cursed to not.
I know
fly.
that's our greatest burden.
Yeah, that is what you are seeking is flight, and it seems like this bird is called I think it's an Arakokra. I'm not exactly sure if that's it, but we'll say.
But it's a different type.
Yeah,
it's not crowy or raven.
Yeah, it seems because you made so high in your history check, you seem to know that this is a type of bird that's kind of blessed by the gods, and it's more like an angel figure.
Not a fan.
Yeah, and this one's just playing
a lot of bubbling emotions coming up at seeing that guy.
And yes, especially he's being applauded by the human.
He hasn't spoken yet, has he?
No, he seems to be humming along with the
And
words.
all the carriagers, I suppose. Do they all have that dragon blessed symbol on their breastplate, or
Just the
the
purple
Typhon?
tiefling has the dragon breastplate.
Do they share? Do they seem to share any other symbols, or
They look like an odd assortment of people. They don't seem to be sharing any insignia that you notice. You can make a perception check to actually
I will
to
make a perception
see
check.
more. Wow,
getting these 18s?
you're getting high rolls.
21 again. Ooh.
21 again. Okay, so yeah, you notice that. Yeah, the one's in heavy armor and is carrying a warhammer. That is the human with the mutton chops, a handlebar mustache, and the sickly human looks to be just wearing a dark robe. Doesn't seem to have any insignias, and the lord seems to be, very regal in how he presents himself, and so they seem to be very completely different people, but they all seem to be going towards the same direction. You're not sure if they're working together to bring you to some place, or if they're all just traveling together.
All right. My first thing I do is I kind of close my eyes, I put my head against the bars, and I make the sound of snoring through my beak as a Kenku can.
Okay.
Yes. Kind of a very obvious snore.
Okay.
And while my eyes have closed, I reach out with the tendrils of my psychic mind and my telepathy, and I worm my way into the mind of this cat person nearby me, and I ask them, bird eater, where are we going? What is happening to us?
Who is talking?
I say, quiet. It is me, Water on Rocks, next to you in the cage.
She looks over and sees the sleeping bird. How are you talking to me?
I'm inside your mind.
You're inside my mind.
It is my powers. Do not question it. Simply answer my questions.
Get out of my mind.
I need the answers.
Answers to what?
Where are we going? Who are these men?
We're going to Kennel Keep.
Kennel Keep?
Kennel Keep.
I'm no dog.
Well, that's where they treat us like dogs.
Why are we being taken there?
Because we're all magic users. Magic has been declared illegal throughout the Empire.
Really?
Yes.
Would my character know? Is this a recent development, or is this a
Make a history check. You're pretty new here, so
I am pretty new here.
you might not have realized.
That is a 20. Oh no, 11.
Different than 20.
Different than 20.
No, you don't seem to know of this. This is news to you.
I ask her. All right. Well, it's a bad situation. Water on Rocks isn't like it. How are we going to escape?
Well, I have a plan for how I escape. I don't know how you're gonna escape.
What's your plan?
Why should I tell you?
Two are better than one. Even if we're natural enemies, we should work together to overcome our problem.
I'm work alone.
Well, you better work quickly because you seem to be outnumbered here.
He kind of looks around. Says, yeah. Look, I do need a bit of your help, but that doesn't mean I'm getting you out of here. It just means I'm creating a plan, and if you want to take advantage of it, you can.
What's the plan?
Okay. Can you create a distraction?
I think for a second as I have to check my powers.
You have to examine your character sheet that's in your mind.
Yes, I say, I can make a distraction. Can't you? Aren't you a magic user?
While you make a distraction, I'll grab the keys.
Off the orc, I ask.
No, she kind of looks towards. Well, you're asleep, so she can point to you okay, the sickly one over there. I think his name is Docker.
I open a single eye, but continue to make snoring sounds.
You do notice keys are jangling by his belt.
I say, you sure you can reach those?
Yeah.
All right. How long, I ask, do you need the distraction to be?
At least 30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right. I tap into my mystical power. So my hands are tied, correct?
Your hands are tied. So I don't think you have a focus, right, to cast spells?
I do not. I simply need my mind.
Wow.
I don't even have somatic components.
I guess you can.
We were both ignorant of our of my character sheet.
Well, I really don't know how the mystics work, so you can just tell me anything.
Folks, this is where a DM should be well researched in his games.
You know what? Mystics are just weird. So whatever. Do whatever you want, man. I'm gonna say you can cast spells even though your hands are tied. I don't. Yeah. You look down at the cat lady. She's a lady, and you notice that her bounds are a little bit ripped. And she's kind of like shuffling like the back of her hands. Okay. While you are thinking about your spells, you hear a big flourish again from the Aarakocra, who just finished another song, and the human with the mutton chops is like, oh, good, some more, please, some more. He's like, oh, I would be happy, the bird person says, to play you more songs, but it is so cramped in this cage, and I didn't do anything wrong specifically. I was just playing music. And the human responds, you were casting charm person and friends upon the people you were playing music with. Oh, lies and slander, he says, clamming on the bars. Lies and slander. No proof of that at all. And he says, I need a bigger cage in order to play music, or else it cramps my sound. And you see him trying to desperately kind of plead to him, but the human is like, I let your hands free so you can play music. If you will not play music, I'll kindly bind your hands. He's like, no, it's fine. I'll play another one. How about that? And he kind of disappointedly sits back down and starts playing another tune.
That makes me a little happy. I like to see the winged suffer. I will reach out the tendrils of my psychic ability. Is the man in golden plate? Is he within 60 feet of me?
Yeah, they're all pretty close.
All right.
They're all the three on horses are pretty close to the wagon because the trail is pretty narrow.
I reach in the tendrils of his mind, and I try to speak in telepathy, however it is done, spookily, some might say. The tiefling is dangerous.
Oh, I guess that would be a deception check. What'd you roll?
Is a 5.
5. So you speak this into the human's mind, and he just kind of looks around and looks back to the tiefling. He's like, I don't think so. And he just keeps trotting along. He doesn't seem too fazed by this voice in his head.
I say, all right.
He doesn't seem too bright.
I need a new tactic. I start making the sound of pots and pans banging together in his head. Just the most cacophonous noise you can imagine.
Into his mind.
As I scream into his mind that sound.
Can you telepathy into an unwilling creature's mind?
Never. You can talk to anyone.
Really? Is that your thing?
I mean, it's just like talking to someone. Can someone try not to listen? I suppose.
I guess. Okay, so
at ignoring, like you're ignoring an innocent child.
All right. Well, he hears this and is a bit more confused than he was before. And he says, "Hey, Docker, do you hear this? What? Docker, this is noise. Do you have pots anywhere? You have pots or pans?" I'm like, no, you oaf. There are no pots and pans here. Come, we're a day away from the keep. Just quiet down. It's like, I hear pots and pans. And you hear kind of this argument like back and forth. And you see the cat lady is just like, do more.
I leave his mind. Now go to the orc. And I make the sound of a snapping branch coming from his far left.
He looks to his far left.
I do another one from the far right.
Looks to his far right.
And suddenly I do branches all around him, snapping along the trail.
Oh. He stops and stands up. I think I hear something, he says in a very timid voice, which it's kind of the opposite of what you'd expect to hear from an orc. And the others kind of stop. You know, like, what is this, Valtros? What is this about? Says the human. Like, oh, Master Harlan, something is in the woods. I can hear it. Well, poppycock, please. All I hear are pots and pans, and they seem to have vanished. So let's move forward.
After that, in the sickly man's mind, I make the sound of a howling wolf.
Oh. Make a deception check for this one, because he's a bit more attentive.
More credulous.
Yeah.
5 again.
5 again. He hears the howl, but he doesn't seem to... He questions its origin, and he kind of looks at the 3 in the cages. He kind of gets off his horse, and he kind of whips out his dagger, and he starts eyeing the cages, and the bird person, so I'm just calling bird person, says, "Oh, why have we stopped? This is such a terrible place to stop. There are monsters in these woods, you know. I don't want to stop in the middle of these woods. How about I play a little ditty to get us all going forward?" And he kind of strums a little energetic tune.
While he's doing that, can I make the howling sound in the orc's head now?
Yes. Roll deception with advantage for him, because he's a bit questioned. Yes.
17.
17. So yeah, advantage is rolling twice, taking the better result for those who didn't know. And so you manage to freak him out a lot, and he kind of steps off, and he pulls out, he seems to have a rapier on him, and he pulls it out, and he seems to being eyeing around. And as this is happening, and Docker, the sickly looking human, kind of looks over and kind of berates him for what he was doing. You see the keys kind of twirl in his belt, like by themselves, as the cat is kind of making motions like behind her hand, as you see that her hands are free, and the keys kind of slowly drift over to her by the cage. But then Holland, the mutton chopped man, kind of like goes around the back of the cage to try to talk to Valtros, the orc, and he's going to see the keys floating if you don't do something. He's like passing like right by you.
Yes, I will attempt to slug it on my spells. I believe I have. Yes, I will use my psychic cantrip delusion.
A delusion?
A delusion
Of grandeur. What is that? What does that do?
As an action, you can plant a false belief in the mind of one creature you see within 60 feet of you.
Whoa.
You create a sound or an image. Only the target of this talent perceives the sound or image that you create.
Does he have to roll?
Yes, he has to roll a intelligence save.
Intelligence save. Wow.
Against me, which I believe my number is 15, if I'm correct.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me look up this guy's intelligence.
Now the prepared is on the other foot, Mr. DM.
What's your save?
15.
15. Oh, that's pretty good. Ooh. Yep, he saved.
Oh! I suppose I don't cause it to work.
Oh, nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
So yeah, you attempt to focus on his mind, and then it kind of fizzles away. But then the Aarakocra kind of notices the keys floating, and you trying to do something, and he notices Doland going over there, and the Aarakocra will try to cast a spell through his magic.
Oh, bards hate him even more now. No good, dirty bards.
Oh, that doesn't work either, because he rolls pretty well. So that you both try to affect his mind, and this just keeps bouncing off him as he looks and sees the floating keys, and says, "They're using magic!" And he quickly gets out his warhammer, and some holy aura kinds of emits around his battle axe. And
as he's doing this, may I do something?
What would you want to do?
I'd like to teleport away.
Okay. Where?
Apparently I have this ability.
To teleport?
To just teleport.
Do you?
Yes.
Wow, learn new things every day.
I'm a I forgot I picked a nomad, which is specifically a mystic that teleports. Does a lot of teleporting. So I'm going to use Step of a Dozen Places. If I haven't moved it this turn, I take a bonus action teleport to 20 feet per points spent. So I will spend 2 points to teleport 40 feet away.
40 feet away.
In front of our... not up to that much. Can I be in front of the horses? The horse of my carriage?
Mm-hmm.
I teleport there. What happens after that?
Well, you teleport there, and the burst of energy gets released, and it seems whatever spell the cat lady was casting just kind of vanishes, and the keys just fall to the ground. And he notices that her bonds are free, and he picks up the keys and is like, "Oh, you're gonna get it now, you blasphemer!" And he opens the cage and is getting ready to strike her.
Can I see this horse, this great beast.
Yes.
My first inclination is maybe I should leave these guys behind. But I realize, wait, he has wings. It's a possibility that I could steal his wings. And the cat person wanted to help me. And I feel like I kind of owe her something for that.
Right.
So I attempt to do something I've never done before, and I jump on the horse.
Whoa.
And I suppose I jump on the front of the wagon.
Okay. Yeah, the orc is off of it, so you just jump on and everyone comes
And I just smack the reins and speak into the horse's mind. I suppose, what sound should I make? I'll make the sound of a... can I tell if these are female or male horses?
Can roll animal handling to see if you would know that.
I think that's an 11. I don't think I read
11.
I'm gonna hope they're men and make the sound like a young mare in a meadow, like.
Okay, one is a man.
So I want to get him going.
Okay. All right, so roll
smack.
Roll animal handling with advantage then, because one of them is like into what he hears. Hey.
17. I gotta check if I actually have any.
Okay, that works though. You're 17.
What is animal handling?
It's under wisdom.
So yeah, it's a 17. It's
Yeah.
17.
All right, so yeah, you are totally able to drive one of them pretty hard, and the other one just kind of goes along.
Yeah,
with it.
she's not into it. It's okay.
Yeah, and so the 4 cages plus Dolan, who's on it, kind of get rocked, and then they go, and the other human, Docker, and the Noble, who's just kind of been observing this whole time, not reacting. Like, he's seen everything that kind of happened, but he hasn't been reacting, kind of strangely. They both kind of chase after it. And the chase has begun.
Ooh.
The orc kind of... Yeah, the orc gets on Dolan's horse, actually, and he chases after, too. So, here is a chase.
There we
Da,
are.
da, da, da. All right, so this will probably be a skill challenge, then, to see who gets there. Let's say... I do them a bit differently, I think, than most people do.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the first group that gets to, I say 5 successes. 5 successful rolls will get away. Well, you'll get away if you reach 5 successful rolls in this rolling off, and then if any of them, their group, get 5 successful ones, they catch up to you. Everyone is kind of rushing forward, and you see a fork in the road. One is a path that seems more walked upon, more flat, more kind of straight and narrow, and see another one where it's like kind of overgrown and more vines are kind of hanging off and roots are kind of being embedded into the road. So which way do you go?
I think I'll take the bumpy one.
Oh,
I think I'm hoping that one of my companions has some sort of nature magic at their disposal.
Mm.
But otherwise, I also don't want to meet people on the road.
Okay.
Because it could only get worse if you do that.
Right. So yeah, go through the bumpy one. Roll. Let's see.
And as I'm going there, I'm going to scream out in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
specifically to the cat and Aircock, the sound of a fireball exploding. I want them to get the idea of, I did all the work so far. You guys got to pick up the pace here.
Right. They're
They're all magic users, even if they're bards, which is the most useless of magic users. Audience.
Oh, shots fired. Okay, so
I'm
yeah,
bringing those bards down to where they belong.
roll animal handling again. Well, No, they're going forward. So you'd be rolling dexterity with disadvantage because it's a bumpy road. So.
Is it animal handling or no?
No, roll dexterity, sleight of hand to try and like range.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, because you're trying to stay on the horses.
The straight and narrow.
Yeah.
15. Oh, disadvantage. 3 with. I don't think I have a high enough stat to get over a 3. That's really nice for me. It is a 9, which I mean out of a 3, that's.
Wow, it's pretty good, but still not good enough.
No.
You're getting jostled, and you're kind of slowing down while everyone else, because you have this big wagon behind you, and the others are kind of catching up. So you got a failure there. Doland is going to attempt to smack this cat lady with this kind of arid warhammer that he's got, and he says, "Oh, I am so sorry, but those who practice the dark arts must be purged from our society. You understand." And he smacks her and does some amount of damage, which I will probably roll for as soon as I.
Audience, if you don't know, role-playing games involve rolling dice.
Yes. Okay. Does. Woof. No, just. Oh no, that's plus. Yeah, okay. So 9 points of damage to her.
But not insignificant.
Yeah, it kind of smacks her in the chest, but she seems to be starting to struggle and fight on back. Okay.
She's still in the cage, correct? I mean, she's kind of stuck in there.
Yeah. Yeah, this is interesting because this is a case where it's combat and a chase happening at the same time. Mm-hmm. But you're not involved in the combat, so. No. We'll see. So we'll go back and forth between the groups and you. Mm-hmm. So now it's your turn. So let's say you can either do an action to try to get you ahead, or you can command the Aarakocra Bard or the cat lady to do something.
All right. My character realizes that they are not good with animals. Mm-hmm. I tend to eat them. Mm-hmm. Not to command them.
Right.
So what I do is I tell the cat lady and the Aarakocra to hold on to their cages. What I want to do is I look down at this poor horse. Mm-hmm. As I raise my fists and strike it on its back with
to kill it?
To cause it and its companion to fall over and the carriage to roll and swing and completely break. Because the man is just in the back,
yeah,
right?
He's like in the cage with her.
Yes.
Fighting her.
So I just want this, because I know I can't get ahead of them, but what I do know is a mess, them in the cages will be safer. So I am striking this horse on its back.
Wow, okay.
And I can do that with a great deal of force as my psychic energy comes around my clawed hand as I smack into its back. Should I roll damage or?
Yeah, let's say you hit.
Should I choose the amount of damage?
Yeah, go ahead and roll damage. We'll see.
I will choose to do.
Hit points.
I'm gonna add.
I have found their hit points. Did not expect the horses to be fighting, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I want to add 4d6.
How do you add 4d6?
My psychic power is I add damages to physical attacks.
Wow.
By spending points.
40. Oh, you spent. How many points did you spend?
4.
Oh, that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. I know. That's why I'm trying this out.
All right. Ooh, here comes the roll.
I feel bad. This poor horse.
You don't feel bad.
16 damage.
16 damage. Yeah, that kills the horse for sure.
I feel bad as I crack its spine, but I was like, I gotta. Chaos is my friend.
So yeah, you crack its spine. A force of psychic energy goes around your fist, and you just snap its spine in half as it just tumbles. As the other horse kind of tumbles, and the wagon falls onto it, and the cages kind of go flying.
As a bonus action while that's happening.
Yes.
Can I teleport away?
Yeah.
My
bonus action.
Bonus teleport. So I'm gonna spend 1 psi point to teleport 20 feet to the side of the road
Okay.
in the forest.
So you just go like next to a tree, and all the cages just kind of flop all over the place. And now the others are starting to catch up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And now I think it is now a combat. So let's just roll initiative, shall we?
Here we are.
All right.
Ooh, that's a good initiative roll for me.
You got a 20.
I got 20.
Wow.
Though, audience, getting a good initiative roll is probably the least important roll one can have, so it's a kind of a waste of a 20. But hey.
Okay. So,
I personally hate when I get 20s on initiative rolls. It's like, that 20.
yeah.
I could have done double damage.
If only.
If only.
So you'll go first, and then the cage people go second, and then everyone else will go third.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, I usually, unless it's specifically like groups of people, I usually just do all the enemies as one roll.
Mm-hmm.
Because, also, folks, as a DM gets to making individual initiative rolls for all the enemies really slows down play. I wouldn't advise it as a DM.
Yeah.
Just make them all
Doesn't
go
need to
once.
happen. All right, so you're first because you rolled 20. So you see them. They're actually kind of far from you. They're kind of catching up. What do you do? Everyone else is on the floor. The cage is open for the cat lady, but the bird person is still in a locked cage.
Is there a tall tree by me?
Yeah, they're all tall trees around you. Yeah.
As a readied action, can I hold my hand back and prepare to strike the tree and try to make it fall over while the other carriages are coming along the road?
Yes. Yes, you can do that.
Alright, so that's my held action. I want to wait till, I don't know if any of them are in a line or if they're all one by one, but as soon as one gets up here, or right before, I want to strike this tree and attempt to make it fall over.
Okay. Cool. So you ready your action, and then it is the bard's turn, and he is desperately trying to shake open the cage as he sees them coming.
Magic! I scream
like-
in his head. Magic! You're a bard!
I am a musician, sir.
You're a bard.
I have no lock-picking magic.
You have mind control magic, do you not?
I can make friends really fast.
Make friends really fast.
Gah.
This is the fastest you'll ever need to make friends. I say.
Yeah, he'll attempt to do charm person on the human Holland there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he isn't in combat with him, actually. He's fighting the cat lady.
Yeah.
'Cause you can't use charm person in combat, but he's not in combat with him. He's hiding in the
Oh,
cage.
he's stuck in his own cage.
Yeah.
So he'll try it.
Yeah.
And everyone's like on the floor right now, so I
Yes,
guess
it's a whole mess.
we'll see. Oh, Dolan doesn't succeed.
There we are.
So he gets charm person, I believe.
That just makes you,
Gets
him take...
advantage, right?
Well, basically, yes. Most rolls will get advantage. It also makes whatever he says in the best possible light.
Yeah.
So it's like a friend. It's like, what if his friend was stuck in a cage?
Humanoids, wisdom save, he failed.
It's probably very loud.
That was very loud. It has advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. Oh, you can use it during fighting.
You
It
see-
just has advantage.
Yes.
You'll probably roll again.
But he's not fighting him.
You or your companions are fighting it.
Is he a companion? I guess, listeners, this is where the DM makes a call.
I guess they're not. I guess they're separate entities. So I'll say he fails.
Audience, this is where the DM is going easy on the player.
He's charmed. He's just charmed.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So charmed. It's in here actually. Exactly what charmed does.
Audience, our DM is looking at the DM screen. A DM screen is usually what DMs use to hide their dice rolls from the other players in order to keep a sense of suspense and mystery. It also, on the inside, has cheats and tips
Okay,
to
so-
help the DM play his game better.
Okay, the charmed creature can attack him, and he has advantage on all social aspects. Okay. So he like a glaze kind of goes over his eyes, and he's kind of, he's charmed at the moment. He feels very strange and more calm, and that's when the cat lady kind of whips out and shoots some magic missiles at him, and kind of automatically hits him, and he does a few damage, and he kind of gets knocked over. And
that's a good magic missile roll.
Yeah.
That was 2 3s and a 4.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's actually really good. Plus
1 on each of them.
That's 8, 15.
Yeah,
That's
15.
really good on a magic missile.
Yeah, it like dents his armor. It's like boom, boom, boom. Like and she manages to like slip by him, get out of the cage. Everyone else is just like riding towards, and they're getting to the point where you are able to use your ready to action. You can just knock down the tree. Do you want to hit someone, or you just want to stop them from going forward?
I'd like it to hit someone. I think
Okay.
that I want to try and time it with someone.
All right, roll. A
May I suggest a raw int stat? Raw int
raw int stats
to see
to time it.
To time it.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Because yes, there isn't a skill that uses that.
Yeah.
Audience, a skill is a special set of ability, special set of qualities underneath a certain stat.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a video explaining D&D before we just play it. I don't know.
That's a 11.
11. I say you're able to. You don't hit anyone, but you time it to where it falls before them, and they all get trapped behind the tree. And you hear the Tiefling laugh at this, like he's enjoying it.
Do I knock the tree over? Do I need to roll damage?
No.
Or is it good enough?
No, you knock the tree over. You don't have to roll damage to the tree. It knocks over and kind of stops them from moving forward with their horses, and so they're all kind of stuck. Now it's your turn again.
I'd like to run over closer to the bird.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, as I go by, I say, "Get him to open your cage and run with us." I'm saying his mind.
To Dolan, or no, to Holland.
To Holland. The
Holland, the human, or the
Eric, the other bird person.
Oh, the bird person.
Tell the human, because the human likes him. He probably hates me.
Oh, right, because he's charmed.
I make the sound of the human laughing. Mm-hmm. I make the sound of keys opening a lock, and I make the sound of footfalls on grass as I convey the idea of telling the human to unlock him and then run with us. I run past him, the Eric, and then I speak to the cat and say, "Let's just run," and I continue running in the forest. So I'm just using my entire turn to speak and run.
Okay, cool. You do that.
As I do not want to fight them because there is no reason to.
As you run into the forest, make a survival check. 15 plus...
15, just 15.
Okay. So yeah, you manage to notice kind of dangerous bushes to avoid, and you notice like the small little trail. But you also notice there's heavy footfalls of possible carnivores nearby that seem bigger than, just your average wolf. And you try to avoid them, I assume.
I'd rather face the beasts of the forest than the beasts that lurk at the heart of men.
Yes. Good. Very poignant.
Yes,
all right, so you...
This is also a Christian podcast, giving you words of wisdom.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You exit the forest, and the Aarakocra manages to say, "Hey, you like my music so much? Come over here. Here's some more. Unlock the cage. You get to hear some more music." And the charmed Holland is kind of like, "Oh, sure," and just kind of waddles over. He has his own set of keys, unlocks it open, and as he unlocks it, he just like does a swift punch in his face for some amount of damage, for like 3 points of damage. He's pretty hurt.
Yeah, that magic missile really...
really got him. And begins to fly away.
I hate him.
You see through the bushes him like kind of fly like upwards. Like above the treetops.
I think to myself, I probably should have let him die. If I were a petty birdman, I would have let him die, but I couldn't.
Yeah, he screams like, "Thanks, bird friend! Caw-caw!" and he's just like flying up on the.
I wish
treetops.
I had a ranged spell to kill him because now it's only worse that he thanked me.
Yeah.
I'd rather him been silent.
Well, just before he gets out of range, Docker, the sickly human, gets out his bow and will try and shoot him down. And misses. Goes right by him.
After it goes by him, I'll say watch out in my mind.
Okay.
But after after it makes sure
You see it like going forward, and you're like,
I'm holding. Oh,
missed.
all right. Oh, watch out!
Oh no.
I'll make the sound of an arrow through his mind, and
Thanks again, bird friend. Yes, if you ever need assistance, call on the bird Bulgarius Cran.
I say pick me up and fly me away.
He keeps going.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. I'm in your mind. I cannot hear you.
I can't really carry any. He just keeps. He's gone.
Yes.
So you and the cat lady.
Is she running away with me?
Yeah, she's running away with you, and she says, "My name's Lonnie."
I make the sound of fates falling faster as I tell her, introductions later. We must get away.
Okay. She kind of nods confusingly as you both head off into the woods, and I think we'll end it off there.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What a great adventure!
Yeah, well, fun. Yeah, it could have went a lot of ways. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt bad about killing the poor animal, but I realized my very poor animal handling was probably not going to be better than men who or women who have who've handled horses before, and I doubt my pathetic attempts to facilitate horse love will have inspired much to make up for that.
Yeah, no, you did pretty well.
Also, audience, I'm sorry that I said akakra. That is not how it is said. I did not mean to use profanity on the podcast.
Akakra. It's probably a swear in some language, I think.
Probably.
It sounds like it.
I assume in every language.
Yeah. So, yeah, that could have went a lot of ways, but, yeah, you got out. And, next week we might pick it up from there, or we might play a completely different module.
Yeah, in the comments, audience, tell us what you want us to do.
Yeah, is this be on YouTube? This is going to be on YouTube, right?
Maybe. We may, yeah.
Maybe.
The audio, we definitely could.
Yeah, I think we should.
And one day when if someone is actually listening, we'll have fan art play over the video of our adventures.
Well, that's okay. So we'll
if there are any artists out there, send us free art at freeart.kendall.com.
Well, we have an email, right? We have an email at dndduo@gmail.com. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
We can add that in later. We gotta do that.
Well, we can put in a little whatever. But, yes, if you have any comments or concerns about the podcast, please leave them.
Especially concerns.
If you have anything we want us to do, then maybe we can want to talk more about specific things in the future. I know we have the next few weeks planned, but...
We have a new ASMR session coming up, so don't worry. Be worried.
Where you paint miniatures.
I paint miniatures in front of a microphone. So
ASMR.
for you nerdy people out there, get ready.
Right.
It's gonna start.
Yeah, we can do that for sure. But yeah, it's a new thing. Leave if you liked it, or if there's improvements.
And if you didn't like it, just don't say anything. Walk away.
Well, I think comments are better than no comments, right?
I don't know. The algorithm probably says yes.
Probably. I think if you get a lot of downvotes, you still get notices as much.
Yeah.
As you get a lot of upvotes, right?
Everyone, pray to the algorithm. Give us your love and support.
Well, if you like D&D and you listen to this, tell a friend about it.
Yeah, or just play D&D.
Yeah, just play D&D.
Let's play D&D.
Yeah, if you have any questions about us, we've been DMing for a few years, so.
Yeah.
You know,
if you live in the Seattle area, we could play your game.
Yeah, we live in the Seattle area.
Yeah,
so.
if you want to play a game.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right, now we have to make a sign-off. Do we have a sign-off?
Do we have a sign-off? I wrote an intro, but I did not write a sign-off. What do you think our sign-off should be?
My name is Kirk Vandy Break.
Is that where I say my name? My name is Kendall Ueji.
And then together we say, and we're D&D duos.
Together?
Yes.
We'll think on it.
Think on it.
Okay.
Audience, this is a creative conflict, but because we're mature adults,
Well, let's just end it.
we'll get over our
How long has
differences.
it been? All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Wow.